All right, guys, what's up? Happy Turkey Day. We got NFL Week 12 kicking off this week on Thursday with three games on Thanksgiving Day. So a couple of six teams get to start off their Week 12 early. It says instead of the usual Thursday night, it's now six teams Thanksgiving Day, and the typical Detroit Lions will play, Packers, Cowgirls, Commanders. Those are the two division games. So all three of the games are division games, including 49ers Sea Chickens that I'll be playing at 8 o'clock, 8:30 on Sunday night, Thursday night football. I was going to say Sunday night, but I think it's on NBC if I'm not mistaken. So it is Sunday night, but on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. And the funny thing I noticed immediately about these three games, all three games right now, according to the point spread, are all at least a touchdown and better for every team. Every team that's playing, every game that's being played. So the 49ers are 7-point favorites. The Cowgirls are 13.5-point favorites. And the Detroit Lions are 8-point favorites on Thanksgiving Day. All three games have big point spreads. And they're all division opponents. Now, you know my rule. Division games that are more than 7, I usually take the underdog. But something interesting happened last week that may sway my opinion one way or another. Not guarantee, I'm not tipping my hand yet. But last week we got crushed. Our worst week of the year. 4-10 last week. We got destroyed. This was our worst week of the season. And the last 2 weeks we've been bad. I mean, we're 10-18 in our last 2 weeks against the spread. Overall on the year though, we are still 91-73. So I think we're like 8-2 or 7-3 or something like that on Thursday night picks. So there is something still to look forward to if you're still following us up to this point as we are on week 12. So, being that all three division games have a point spread of 7 or more, it's Thanksgiving Day. It's a short week, right? I'll tell you what. Like the Cowgirls burnt us last week. Who we picked last week? We thought that they would cover, and the Cowgirls ended up blowing the doors off of them and a few other teams. So it's not looking too well. But with that being said, though, let's start off with our first game. We got the Packers Lions. This is going to be early in the morning, 11:30, 12:30, whenever that is. Detroit Lions are 8-2 on the season, guys. 8-2. They're looking good. And Roger Goodell said that the reason why this game is on Thursday or the early game, he says that TV networks were asking for this game. Detroit does draw, on Thanksgiving. They traditionally play on Thanksgiving, even when they were bad. So now that they're good, everybody wants Detroit on TV. So Detroit was so bad for so long that they started clamoring for the franchise to lose its traditional place on the holiday. But now that they're good, the NFL wants them back on TV on prime time. And Roger Goodell said that he's getting networks asking for the Lions. So there are networks out there that want to see the Lions on their TV. This is what he said in an interview to Fox 2 Detroit before attending Detroit's last game at Ford Field. He says, quote, "I think a lot of that goes back to the final game last season when they went into Green Bay. They didn't necessarily have anything to play for, but they went and beat their division opponent and knocked them out of the playoffs. In the kickoff game, they made another statement. Yes, they did when they beat Kansas City. This was the first game of the season when Detroit won at Kansas City. And now the Lions are 8-2, and they have another opportunity to show the masses what they can do against the Packers, who are 4-6. So Detroit has opened the year with 8 wins in 10 games for the first time since 1962. The run included a Week 4 win at Green Bay. So the Lions are looking to sweep the Packers this season. Lions closed last season with 8 wins of their last 10. So they are on fire right now. Last season, 8 of the last 10 games. Now they start the season 8 in the first 10. So you do the math. You do the math on that. So, Packers are going to be missing some key players. But I did hear that Aaron Jones has a knee injury. So, A.J. Dillon will likely get the start for the Green Bay Packers. Dan Campbell makes the bold moves. He goes for it on 4th down a lot. So, this is going to be an exciting game. But I think that the game being in Green Bay, in Detroit, Detroit's favored by 8. The over-under is 47.5. I am very tempted to not take Detroit here. I think Detroit's going to win the game. I just think the game is going to be a little bit closer than 8, but I could be wrong. But guess what? It's Thanksgiving. It's a division game. I'm going to go on a limb here and take the Green Bay Packers in the +8. I don't think the Lions will cover. Now, I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be close. So Green Bay +8, that's what we're going with. Next game, let's move on. Oh, wait. Any stats, anything to look forward to in this game? Let me see. Not really. Yeah. Look, guys, we're going to get burnt here, but I think that there's an opportunity potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have went Detroit, but forget it. We already got Green Bay. Let's move on. We got the Washington Commanders heading down to Dallas to take on those Cowgirls. Cowgirls are 7-3, the second in the NFC East. Commanders are third at 4-7. This is a 13.5 point spread. Cowgirls have burnt us every time we picked against them on a large point spread. They have completely destroyed me. So, what I'm going to do, Cowboys ready for real football as big favorites again with Washington visiting on Thanksgiving. This is the third game in a row that a double-digit favorite for the Cowgirls. And they're looking to extend their longest home streak since the franchise was in the middle of the NFL record 20 straight winning seasons 4 decades ago. So they've been covering that spread, man. They have. Cowgirls have won 12 in a row at AT&T Stadium, longest streak at home since their 18-game run at the old Texas Stadium back in 79-81. So, and the Cowgirls, they beat their first 2 double-digit underdogs from past 2 weeks, giving them 6 victories of their last 20 points this season, of at least 20 points this season, one shy of the franchise record. So, this is crazy, man. I mean, it's going to be so funny because I'm going to pick Dallas and then they're going to frick around and not win by the amount. That's what's going to end up happening. But Washington, I don't think Washington's that good of a team. That's the problem. Washington sucks. You know what I'm going to do here? I think at Dallas on Thanksgiving, I think the Cowgirls show out. The point spread is 48.5, surprisingly. Really big. That's the largest one of the day. I'm going to go with the Cowgirls. Give us the Cowgirls at home with the -13.5. And we'll see if they cover that. And in that game, you're going to see... we'll see what happens in that game. Should be interesting. Now, the final game of the night, the 49ers are on the road, the lone road favorite in tomorrow's games and Thanksgiving Day games. We got the 49ers at 7-3 against the Sea Chickens at 6-4. I'm not sold on the Sea Chickens at all. This is still a pretty big spread at 7. 49ers could take complete control of this division with a win here. I mean, we talk about putting the icing on the cake. They could take a 2-game lead in the division with a win, and it would be their 4th straight over the Sea Chickens and their 10th straight over an NFC West opponent if they somehow win. If Seattle wins, it would erase the taste of the frustrating loss last Sunday at the Rams and pull the Seahawks even in the standards heading into a brutal stretch of the schedule. So this is a big game for the Sea Chickens. They're at home. If they can pull off this upset, they will be pretty much in play for the division. So what does that mean? That means that this game could be close. I think this game is going to be pretty close. I know Geno's had issues, but he got hurt, injuries, stuff like that. The 49ers, this is going to be tough, man. Honestly, it really is going to be tough. Geno with the elbow situation, this game could be a blowout. You know what? Give me the 49ers. Screw it. Take the 49ers and the -7 as the road favorites. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the 49ers -7. Over under is 44.5. You take that and you take it good. Now let's recap real quick. We got the 49ers favorites. Pick them. You got the Dallas Cowgirls 13.5 favorites. And then you got the underdogs, the upset of the day, the Green Bay Packers. Not upset of the day, excuse me, because I think the Lions are going to win, but the Packers, they're just not going to cover. The Packers are going to lose by less than 8. So take Green Bay to +8. So last for the recap. Green Bay +8, Dallas, and the 49ers. Those are the 3 picks. Enjoy them, take them, do what you do what you please. Do not mortgage the house. Do not mortgage the future. I'm not responsible if you lose all the money and your wife divorces you and take the kids. I'm not responsible, okay? Okay, we got it out the way. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey. Enjoy your yams. Enjoy your cranberry. All the stuff you do. All the good meals out there, because there are some good ones. And we know you guys are going to be posting them on social media, because that's what you do in this era. You post pictures of your food and all the other kind of... They post pictures of everything. Food, feet, other stuff that we can't name. Well, they don't post that on Facebook, but they're posting on other sites or DMs, right? You know, the DMs are just another thing. But anyway, so Thanksgiving food, eat, feast, get fat, have fun, enjoy some football, try to take your mind off the craziness that's going on in the world right now. I know a lot of stuff is expensive because of the Bidenomics, you know, Bidenomics. But everything has cost a lot because of that fool. But anyway, if you are enjoying your meals and you're able to afford the meals, right? You didn't have to work 7 jobs just to get Thanksgiving dinner on the table. Enjoy it. Have fun. And we will be back on Friday, on Black Friday, to do the remaining picks. I didn't want to do them all right now because I wanted to wait. Maybe something happens. Because I got burnt a couple times last few weeks, on some news and injuries that I realized after the fact. I was, oh, snap. And we got burned. I'm not making excuses. We made terrible picks, but it did play a part. I think a few of those games, I would have picked differently if I knew a certain player was not playing. Okay. But okay, so Friday we'll be back for the remaining week 12 picks. So stay tuned. GridironSteady on YouTube and Twitter. So sports page. Everybody have a good day. Peace out.